In lieu of doing individual reviews for the 650 and the 700, I figured a three-way discussion of the 600, 650, and 700 would be the better video. It would be the shorter video. Well, combined, it would be the shorter video. And it would also really answer all the questions you people are going to ask in the future. Because these are the ones I own, obviously. These are borrowed. These are borrowed. Now, why are we here? We're having this discussion because people will tell you that this is all you need right here. 600 is, okay, why even bother with 650, and 700s are terrible. Now, if I were doing an individual review, I would tell you that on their own, if you didn't want to compare to these, if these just didn't exist, then you would just look at these two. And on their own, each one of them is a good headphone. Maybe even a great headphone. If the 600s didn't exist, the 650s would be like, they would be the 600s. That would be it. It'd be your choice. You take them out, they'd be a nice gunmetal finish, and you'd be like, wow, these are really good. And you'd listen to them, and nothing would upset you, and you'd move on. But these do exist. Here's what happens between the... Let me get it out of the way right now. Because I have my crazy switcher box over there, and I had all three hooked up, and I was switching back and forth and adjusting levels, because these are hard to drive, these are hard to drive, and these are half as hard to drive. So, these are only 150 ohm, which is like a normal amount. And these are both in the 300 ohm range. And if I'm keeping with my theory that these are the line, these are the midway line, bam, everything should be judged against them, then the difference in the 650s is they sacrifice some neutrality and some vocal clarity for width. Because these have no soundstage. These have only sounds between the ear cups, and that's what you hear. These have sounds that actually sound like they're coming from beyond the headphone cup. But on a pure vocal track, you could hear that it isn't as focused. It's starting to spread out a bit. And then we move over to the 700s, and these are trying really hard to sound wide, and they are missing out on that magic clean vocal that these had. So the question comes, which of these levels do you want? Here's how it goes. You know, neutral, warm, slightly high bias, and people are saying better low end, and I didn't hear it. Maybe a decibel or two, but I'm not even going to count that as a bullet point. And then treble spike, okay, yes, but it didn't bother me as much as it seems to bother other people. And the width is just crazy good. But clear, concise vocals in the center, slightly wider vocals, and then just like lost crazy vocals and high treble. So the treble goes up, and the soundstage goes up, and the comfort goes up, and that's hard to say because I love how these feel. But look how far apart the cups are. You see that? See that inch? These are tight. Now let's take the 650s out. See how far apart those sit? These are the same exact thing, but with less clamp. And I actually like this headrest better than the two. And then you get these out. And that's just miles apart. And now we're looking at the cups, and all of a sudden, you remember how, you know, round versus oval, you want oval? Fuck you, said Sennheiser. We're going to go full D. We're going to slap the D against your head. So there's... Hold on, let me do this right. There's the D. That is just... I don't understand why other... Look, when you go into China and you're... Well, actually, these aren't made in China, but companies that are making headphones in China, you could just tell them to make any shape you want, and they'll do it for, like, the same price. So why is this Sennheiser 700 the first headphone that's actually got an ear-shaped cup? Right? I'm looking around. I've got 80 2000Xs, and man, just Look, it's the shape of an ear. Guess what fits in it? An ear. Guess what that makes it? Comfortable. Why can't you all do this? Why can't you all? It's just a shape. It's just a shape. The next Mazda Miata could look exactly like a Ferrari Enzo. Because all I got to do is, instead of stamping a panel out that looks like this arbitrary shape, stamp it out to look like this arbitrary shape. And it could look like a Ferrari Enzo. So every headphone on Earth could have this ear cup. And they don't. And I don't know why. Let's go over, I'll go over build. I've gone over a basic of sound, and now we'll go over a basic of build. Super light. Super light. Super light. But, you see this headband? See where this headband is plastic? And it just tries not to be there? This entire thing, instead of being plastic, since you're plugging into the wires from the bottom and they don't have to throw anything over the top, this whole thing is just a hewn piece of bumper car bumper. It's bumper car bumper. Bumper car bumper, bumper car bumper. It's just rubber, just a giant, not plastic, like rubber. Hard rubber. Heavy hard rubber. On a scale, these son of a bitches tilt like that. So you got this massive rubber chunk above your head, and then you got this pad on top. Now, best headrest thing I've ever felt. Right here, 600s. Stand by it. This is close. The 2 instead of the 4 I don't like. I like the 4. So here's 1, and it's just, look how thick it is. Look at the thickness of that. It's like an extra 1/4 inch thick that it doesn't need to be. So it puts all this weight way above your head, and that's all you feel is this giant chunk of rubber resting on the top of your head. So the cups are good. This is not good. But let me go back again now and talk about the cups. Oh, the cups are good. The cups are a good shape. However, this material that are on the 600s and 650s is a better material than whatever micro suede they're trying to pull off on this, because you put these on and they feel sweaty already. They just feel sweaty immediately. It's like they're not breathing. And granted, it's summer, but I have an air conditioner on. I shouldn't feel like I'm sweating in headphones that cost this much. Right? That just shouldn't happen. People complain about the 700s a lot. A lot. They're overpriced. They have this treble spike. And I understand where they're coming from, because they have other options that are cheaper. And if you're going for neutrality, there they are. If you're going for a slightly better soundstage with a little more brightness, there they are. And if you're going for absolute width, just absolute width. I mean, look, there's the driver. See that? In there, I could touch that and just break this driver because it's barely contained. Where at least they put like the driver behind the cage here. They're going full out, full retard on these, and I respect them for it. They're trying something new. They just didn't need to do this. Like, it could have just been this with a better, with more, but they said screw it. We're going out with a bang. We're going with the full Starship Enterprise headset that Vulcans wear. It would have to be pointy. This is sort of the uncanny valley of comfort. I've been thinking about that phrase for like a week now, coming up to this review. And if you don't know what the uncanny valley is, it's when robots look like robots. It's like a Roomba. No one is upset by a Roomba. And then you got like Robbie the robot, and he's cool, and he's got arms. And you got Johnny Five, he's cool. And then you go to like a movie, Prometheus, where you've got David, and he's perfectly human, and he's fine. But when you're not perfectly human, and you're sort of like trying to get there, but you're not there, and you got like a rubber face, and he's like a Terminator 1, that's when people are like, here's the weird thing about robots. It's an acceptability. It's acceptable, completely acceptable. Everyone likes it, everyone likes it, everyone likes perfect humanoid robots, and everyone likes robots that sort of like have noses and stuff, and they're cute. But then there's this weird uncanny valley that if you're getting real close to humans, but you're not there, you just look freaky and fucked up. And that is what these are in comfort. Because I can accept these for comfort. I can accept these for comfort. And then I get to these, and although they've got the D shape, the material's not there, and my ear touches the inside. Like, it's got the shape, but it doesn't have the depth for my big ears. And then this headband and everything, which takes them from the most comfortable. They could almost be the most comfortable headphones. And then they're not. They're slightly below that, and that makes them just fucking annoying. They're just annoying. They're annoying to wear. Because my ear just touches the inside of this, and then these pads don't breathe enough, and they get sweaty, and this headband is too stiff. So they want to be the best headphones. They're just like 5% off for comfort. I don't like these slidey mofos either. They're not positive enough in their like lock. They just feel like I could just, yeah, there. Let me just adjust my headphones. That shouldn't be possible. That should not be possible in a headphone. It should be like the ones on the goddamn HD400s where it's like click, stay forever. So I respect Sennheiser for attempting. Now maybe that the 800s, because the 800s are the big daddy headphones of God. God came down and forged them himself in Ireland or wherever they make these. And so those are bigger cups, so that would eliminate at least the touching. But is the material the same? Is this headband the same? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just straight build and comfort right now amongst the three. These are the most comfortable of the three. If I could pull this 4-pad off, put it on here, I have no issues saying these are the most comfortable open headphones in the world. But I bought these, and these just clamp on your head, and you can ride a roller coaster with these. I swear to God. I swear to God. My God, not your guy's God. I have a special one that no one knows about. He tells me to do things. And I think I could wear these and ride a roller coaster, and they would stay on my head. These, not so much. And these were just... These, I'm afraid to look down. Like, down. Like, if I look down, the weight of this and the light clamp feels like they're just going to flop off my head. Like, oh, there goes my Sennheisers. Whoop. So, there's build. We'll get back to sound in a second. We'll get back to sound quality in a second. Let's discuss the wires, because I don't have any of them attached, because frankly, wires make everything worse. Now, here is the wire that came with the 600s. I admired the feel of it, the taste of it. I enjoyed touching it all over my body. It's got stupid connectors, and a 3.5mm, and this crazy 1/4-inch adapter that is proprietary to it. So that's fine. It's a wire. You can replace it. I definitely did. In fact, let me talk about this for a second, because Best in the Verse deserves some credit. Because he made me my special... Just fall on the floor. It's just a Y. It's just a Y. It has the connectors and a Y and a 3.5mm. And either I'm going to buy another length from him that is just a 3.5 to 3.5, or I have this one that I've been using from the Brainwaves HM9s. So now I've got whatever headphone cable I want. Just the Y is there, and I use an extension. Now, the 650s use the same stupid connectors. This time not color-coded, for some reason. I guess because they're $100 more. Here's the thing, there's $100 more. So when I'm talking about this being slightly different, we'll get to price. We'll get to price. So here's the connectors, not color-coded. The wire is obviously much, much thicker. Alright? Because that's important when it really isn't to the same exact load. And at the end of this is terminated with a 1/4-inch, which makes it unfortunate. Because now you're forced to most amps will have a 1/4-inch. Except for Emotiva. They don't seem to fucking believe in 1/4-inch. I've complained, and this, just for longevity's sake, they gotta put a 1/4-inch in their equipment. So you get a giant, thick cable now. So whereas this one was light and light, this is less light. So you're probably more likely to change this wire out than you are the one for the 600. And now I'm going to prepare my body. Limber up a bit for this piece of shit. So, you spend all this money on HD700s. And tucked into little 5-inch folds is this fucking monstrosity. Now, I've addressed the janky wire issue in the past. I've addressed it with, even again, companies like Emotiva. They sell you a $1,000 amplifier, and the power cord is folded and wire tied, and you unfold it, and it's a big janky mess. Well, here is, it's perfectly straight for 20 inches, and then it's just up, down, down, loops and shit. Oh god, I hate this wire. I hate this wire. It ruins these headphones. I couldn't live. If you buy these and you live with this wire, you are a better man than I, because I can't stand it. So it's got, thank God, thank the gods, it's got 2.5mm monos, which you could actually buy. However, they've got this little indentation, so you can only put it in one way. For no reason. Because if these were just straight and they could just spin, it would be fine. It would be fine. But no, there's a little flat spot there, so that it's just there to fuck with people who are trying to make extra cables for these. Because you can't put it in like this. You gotta put it in exactly like that. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. Okay, that's okay. We'll move on. And these are just rubber. Like this actual length there, that's perfect. That's fine. Connectors, oh great, 2.5mm, proprietary 2.5mm. You gotta do the middle finger right. I've been trying to explain this to people. You don't just stick your middle finger up, you've gotta bend all the other fingers out of the way until your hand is in pain, and then you point it at someone. Like hard, like the finger is super long. Comes down to a proprietary little Sennheiser thing, okay, great. And then it starts the jacketed... My grandmother had an Electrolux vacuum from the 60s. And this is the cord it had on it. This is it. This is exactly it. It was a heavy-duty covered fabric cord. And for vacuum cleaner power, back in the day, like 12 amps, absolutely. You know, you got to keep that from getting nicked and lighting everything on fire. These are just headphones. And they're not even hard to drive headphones. They're 150 ohm. You're not plugging this into a wall outlet to power it. You're plugging it into an amplifier, a very lightweight amplifier. And, you know, as far as, you know, oh, it feels like quality. Quality doesn't fold up into a box. For the love of God, Sennheiser, figure out a way to loop a big, clean, unjanked fuckhead wire into your boxes. I mean, I'm sure the HD800 is the same way. And if I ever got a pair, I'd be really freaked out about those too, because that's everyone has sex with those. And look, you got a nice little 1/4 inch with a custom Sennheiser grip. I kind of like that. Like, this is fine. This is fine. And this bit here is fine. And then, I hate you. And then this janky cable. So, it's just the most cumbersome in the way. If you don't need it to be exactly this length, you're just fucked. Oh, God. Let's put this back here. Good. Good. I'm glad it looks like that. I hope you don't sell any of these Sennheiser. What are you buying? And why are you buying it? In a perfect world, these two headphones would be the same price. And you would choose warm neutrality with very narrow soundstage, or you choose a slightly brighter headphone with a little more width and extension, just a little more. And because that would be the price. You would just, oh, they're the same price? I like these, or I like these. It'd be a 50-50 split. These are more money for no reason. Zero reason. The drivers aren't made of gold. I know for a fact that the drivers don't cost any more to make than this and then this, because I know how manufacturing works. So, they're the same chassis, they're the same pads, they're in the same box. There is no $100 difference here. And I cannot recommend the 650s over the 600s for $100 more. You could spend that money on $100 in Taco Bell. Just imagine what that would buy you. Oh, I was going to get the 650s, but I didn't. I went with the 600s, and then I bought all of this, and it would just be a pile of burritos. And that would be a better investment than this. Now, if you can get these used for the same price as these, by all means. If you want that, if you have these and you want to try these are a little bit, they got a little bit more going for them but not $100 more. And certainly not, they aren't as neutral. These are still the kings of neutrality. I'm judging every headphone in the world off these. And these are the kings, and these are their slightly more excited cousin. So that's fine. So that's when you buy 650s, when you get them used and you want a little bit, you want just a different experience than the absolute flat narrowness. This will provide. Now this is a harder thing to judge. Because I've stopped hating headphones for being bad. Bad doesn't exist anymore in my category. I mean, you'd have to be real, you'd have to just like crackle and break up and be physically broken for me to call you a bad headphone. I'm a pacifist now. I am like Gandhi. I think all headphones are just different. So these headphones are different, and they're not worth the upgrade cost. These headphones are different. Are they worth the cost? Well, that depends entirely on what you want. If you want... I'm going to sit here for a second and think, because I didn't get this far into my brain when I was preparing for this review. I've already discussed that they're in the uncanny valley of comfort, so you're paying, if they fit inside your ears and maybe the thing doesn't bother you, I can't judge that. Let me make this wire so it's really shows off how amazing it is. These are expensive headphones. I don't even know what the price is right now. It's under 1,000, but it's over 500. They've been over 500 forever. And you have to have heard them and be like, wow, that's what I want. Because if you're looking for absolute vocal clarity, this is not going to have it. These will have it, and these will have it more than that will. And again, I'm just comparing right now to some Sennheisers. If I had hi-fi mins and the Denons and high-end Audio Technicas, which I kind of do, they're right there. In fact, here we go. Ready? I wasn't planning on putting these in the review. Can I borrow your box? 600? 650? Thank you. These are relatively equally priced. These are a little bit cheaper. For vocal clarity, I take these. For Soundstage, I take these. For bass, I take these. For comfort, it's a near split because all the things I've complained about here don't exist here. What exists here is these fucking pads that are round, and humans aren't round, and this has to touch your ear, and it's very thick and warm, and I'm looking to change the pads out on this. But these are also the lightest headphones in the world. So these sound better than these. These sound like an upgraded version of the 600s and 650s, and then you go 700s, and all the width is there, and the sharp pinpoint highs because of that spike, which you're hearing. But I like these better. I like these better than those. If I had to compare, I mean, now I'm comparing. I brought in a ringer. This is my ringer pair of headphones to tell you I don't need to buy these. Buy these. But then you got to worry about. All right. I can't tell you what you're gonna love. Some people are gonna come on this video and be like, the 700s are the greatest shit, or they're gonna come on this video and go like, yeah, I know the 700s are shit. Are they worth the price for what you get? They could be. They are so close. Different wire. Look, watch this. Oh my god, it looks so much better already. Different wire. Different material on the pads. Don't make this goddamn thing so heavy. And tweak it a bit so that you get a better vocal clarity. Because it's just warm and perfect and great and the best headphones I've ever owned. And then it just shifts over and then it's like cold and hard. Not harsh, but that highs, man. Those highs are just... You gotta know what these sound like before you buy them. You gotta know that they are not neutral. They are. At least they keep the low end, and then they just raise that high end, and then the width gets wide, and then it's just they lose it. They lose that. What makes a 600 special is not here. Now I don't know if the 800s are just an exaggeration of what these have. I've tried them for like 30 seconds at an audio show, and I was nay impressed with the 800s in the 30 seconds I tried them at the Sennheiser booth. So they were powered by the Sennheiser amps. It was like, this is Sennheiser showing off. This wasn't some random audio shop. This was Sennheiser showing you their product. So they were going to do the best they could. Granted, I didn't know their source at the time, but at the audio show that year was 800s were holy god. These are so different. I don't like them. These were better than the 800s because they actually sounded like headphones. And then the next pair I put on was the 598s, which sounded the best of the three of that time. Now that I've had some time with the 598s, I realized a flaw in that scenario where these do sound better than 598s. I'm not even going to start that conversation. All the things on this desk sound better than 598s. But I don't know if they need to reach farther. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know who's buying these. I don't know what makes them good. I'd take Audio Technicas, I'd take the 650s, and I'd take the 600s over these. That should have started with that. Should have started with. I'd certainly take Hi-Fi and 500s. If that video, I'm not sure which order these are coming out, but if the 500 HE500 video came out before this, or even the 400i, I know I'd take the 400i's over this. In other words, good try, Sennheiser. Good try. But I don't have anyone to recommend these to. That's it. I don't have anyone to recommend these to. They've got certain benefits, but the cost is too high, and can't do it. I can't do it. The 650s, sorry. The 650s, again, I think are a slight enjoyment improvement over the 600s. Like if you just want that little bit more highs and a little bit more width. These are an improved version of the 600s. But not $100 improved. Just slightly tweaked. So it's like a $20 difference maybe, and then you could try it. These went up to $500 that time. These went up to $300 and something dollars. These went up to $500. No. I wish they were real close in price, and then you could just pick either one. But these, I can't do. I cannot do. They want to be so good. They're trying so hard to be different and better, and they're just not pulling it off. And that wire's not helping. Keep trying, Sennheiser. I believe in you. You were my first headphone brand. 201s, 280 Pros. Then I went to Brainwaves, and then I went to NVXs, and then I went to Mad Dogs, and then you're just fucked after that. So you've been out of my I need a Sennheiser pair until these 600s, which I obviously, you don't paint headphones you don't love. That's just a rule. Unless you paint headphones you don't care about and you want to throw them on the bus. I don't know. This video was probably very long. I don't know. I don't have a clock or anything telling me. I just talk until I don't feel like talking anymore. We should all buy wireless Bluetooth headphones, because look at this mess. Could all be avoided. God, I love these things. I gotta change pads. Because I can ask, because I have 6,000 subscribers now. If anyone knows where I could buy the anniversary pads for the AKG, like the ones on the K7XX, please message me or leave a comment, because with this thing over here, I'm not sure if I can get them on, but those were the best pads ever. And if I can get them on here, I will. And thank you for Best in the Verse for providing the... I sent him the plans for this, the detailed blueprints, and he was like, I could totally make that. And then he did. And this is the best system ever, because you can just yank it out. Alright. I have 3 sound recordings of all 3 of these headphones, and you could hear what I'm talking about in all 3 of them, because I didn't move the rig. I just kept changing headphones. I redid the 600s. I did the 650s and the 700s, all with the same tracks. All with the same amount of detailed tuning. And it's as good a representation as I can give you.